One other question, why apart from pay, and you went over a lot, little briefly itself, but why are mechanics just putting down their wrench and say, you know what, enough is enough?
Frustration. I look at it like this, man, and no offense to any mechanic that is watching your program. We have some very bright guys that's in this industry, and I'm one of you guys. But the reality of it is, mechanic work has always been looked at as grunt work. It's hardcore. You understand? The guy that in high school he wasn't the best football player or anything else, or the smartest guy to go become a lawyer. Usually go along this line, you understand, and become a mechanic. Now, a lot of guys like us who kind of pull yourself up on the bootstrap, we don't put up with a lot of foolishness.
Mhm.
You understand, a lot of garbage. Like I was saying, you have certain guys that they'll come to work because they partied too hard the night before.
Right.
They'll go sit in a car and have an ex-friend or whatever put the car in the air, and they will sleep all day long, and they end up earning the same that you have a guy that's working right beside him and is yanking a motor out or rebuilding a transmission or something. You understand? I realize in this region it's not really a fair deal. In the Caribbean, what they do is to kind of mitigate technicians getting well-rounded, basically learning all scopes of the business and then running off to open their own shop.
Mhm.
What they do is they'll have a technician only work on one thing. You understand? So if you're doing brakes, you're a brake technician. You're not going to learn how to do AC. You're not going to learn how to service cars. You're not going to learn how to drop a transmission or how to rebuild a diff. You're not going to learn none of that.
Mhm.
You're only doing air conditioning, only doing brakes. You know what I'm saying? And it's a disservice to the technician. It's also a disservice to the technician himself, because you end up sitting in a position for 10, 15 years and your knowledge base is not increased. It's
Right.
the same. But that's what a lot of dealerships do to kind of hold on to the guy. In the Caribbean, like a lot of foreign countries recruit heavily, especially here in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Right? They recruit heavily here. If they come and they look at you and they say, okay, well, this guy knows how to do everything. He knows how to do transmissions, engine jobs, servicing. He's well-rounded. You're the first candidate. They're gone with you.
Yeah.
And a lot of dealerships, they're tired of that brain drain down here. So that's why they kind of adopt that principle where they only teach you to do one thing, because they know foreign companies are not going to look at you favorably when you only know how to do alignment.
So dealerships actually has adopted that approach.
Yeah, it's a strategy, and it works. It works somewhat. It's not foolproof, because you have a lot of guys, like you have some companies that will come here and recruit, and they don't really care. They just want to know that you have the mechanical aptitude.
Yeah.
You understand? They will take you and train you if they're desperate enough, that is.
Mm-hmm. Well, the desperation has reached somewhat fever pitch, because I even did a video some time ago with a Toyota dealership here, here in the north, had to actually develop a program with a nearby high school in order to start recruiting technicians, apprentices from there, take them into the system, create a program from them with the Ministry of Education, and have them, filter through the dealership itself in order to sustain the employment.
They're doing that in the U.S. as well. They're doing that in the States as well. However, in the States, there's no real binding agreement. Like in Latin America, they do the same thing as well.
Okay.
But in Latin America, they'll give you a sign-on bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And that sign-on bonus is refundable. You have to give it back if you leave the dealership within a certain period of time.
Right.
So they'll give you like a hefty sign-on bonus, $5 grand, 10 grand, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you leave within 5 years.
Yeah. You have to repay it.
So, right. Or they're coming after you with lawyers. they hit you with that fear factor where some mechanics is like, man, you literally hear guys in the shop talking, I'm just writing out my 5 years. Like these guys are in prison, right?
Yeah.
I'm just writing out my 5 years and I'm out of here.
Yeah. We'll call it what? Bonded, something like that?
Yeah.
You bond them for a particular period of time. One other question, why, apart from pay, and you went over a lot, little briefly itself, but why are mechanics just putting down their wrench and say, you know what, enough is enough?
Frustration. I look at it like this, man, and no offense to any mechanic that is watching your program. We have some very bright guys that's in this industry, and I'm one of you guys. But the reality of it is, mechanic work has always been looked at as grunt work. It's hardcore. You understand? The guy that in high school he wasn't the best football player or anything else, or the smartest guy to go become a lawyer, usually go along this line. You understand? And become a mechanic. Now, a lot of guys like us, who kind of pull yourself up on the bootstrap, we don't put up with a lot of foolishness. We're saying a lot of garbage. And a lot of dealerships, I find a lot of manufacturers are they're forcing the distributor, the dealership, to implement certain rules and guidelines for their technicians that is becoming so stringent. There's no flexibility. You get disencouraged is the word.
Yeah.
Really fast because you feel like you're literally on a conveyor belt. You understand? And there's no passion anymore into this thing. Yeah. Like one of the things I used to do when I'm running a workshop, and my bigger heads, the guys above me, they couldn't understand why I did it. But I always made it a point. Even when you were with me, one of the things I used to do, I used to pay out of my own pocket, and I would have pizza parties with my guys.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Or I would send one of the drivers and go, here in Jamaica, Kentucky is a big thing. Fried chicken is a KFC big thing.
Yeah.
And we would go and buy a couple buckets of KFC, and I would tell my service advisors, hey, we cutting everything off at 1:00 on Friday. Some guys, they need to go take care of their family. They need to go take care of their kids. Whatever they have to do, they have to run to the bank. But we're just going to sit around. We're going to have some conversation as men. We're going to talk crap. We're going to drink some beers, and we're going to have a good time. The work that we do is stressful enough that you feel you're wondering if it's worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, of course. Yeah, I always say that this industry, I love it. I have a passion for it, but it's one of the most ungrateful industries I've ever worked for.
Oh yeah. I implemented those things simply to kind of bring a sense of unification in the shop. I find that I don't know about any other service manager, but I know for me it works.
Yeah,
it works. I've had guys come into my office and talk to me about, Mr. Bennett, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Now I feel like I have a band of brothers, some guys I could talk to about what's going on at home or what's going on with my kid. Like before we were just, you're at work and you're passing each other like, hey, because it was just that helpful. You understand? Now that you form this family structure, like I remember there was times when we had 400 PDIs that needed to be done, and it's the weekend and we need all of them done by Monday morning, and I would go to these guys and be like, man, listen, I need this work. I know you guys have your family, I know you have to go do stuff, but I need this work done by Monday morning.
Right.
And I would be out there doing PDIs with the guys, but everybody was, in America they say on deck. Everybody was there knocking PDIs out with me. You understand me? Side by side. And that it brought the shop together so much that when one of these guys come in, they say, Mr. Bennett, I need to go on a vacation. I need 2 days vacation time. It's not a big deal. Go handle what you need to handle. Mm-hmm. That human side is no longer in the dealership. Mm-hmm. And because of that, a lot of mechanics, a lot of guys, especially the new guys, when they come in, they're like, man, this is not for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the reality of it is when you get in the dealership, it takes a little while for you to ramp up to where you start making real money. Mm-hmm. Right? So if you're not making that money right away, you're going home with those little small checks, and you have a manager that's constantly riding you, telling you, hey, after the frustration.
Because one of the things which I try to let my viewers know in terms of a dealership, there's always targets, and the targets are increased every single year. You have to look at the operational costs, you have to look at the budget, look at the spend, look at the orders, and that is also sent down. That directive is sent down from the manufacturer themselves, because they want to know how much vehicle should they allocate from you for the following year, and that figure is always increasing. Now, with the increasing figures, particularly I'm talking about the sales department now, they're going to be selling more vehicles. They have to sell more vehicles in order to substantiate the reasons why they have their franchise and their license and things. But why is it that increase itself is not trickling to the service and parts department? You get what I'm saying in terms of the benefit coming back to the back end.
On the manufacturer itself?
Yeah.
Because just like how they're setting higher targets for us in the distributor and the dealership level, their bigger heads are being given higher targets as well.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah,
I never understood that. I didn't understand that until I got on the management side of this game. When I got on the management side and started traveling and started getting exposed to certain things, it became like a aha moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, that's why they're asking for an additional 4% throughput every month. And you understand where I'm coming from? Guarantee you, you're going to watch this. If you're taking my advice right now, 5 years, 10 years from now, you're going to come back to this video and you're going to be like, this guy, he gave me some good advice. Stick with it.
Stick with it.
Yeah. I did this a lot and I became a master at this game. I'm going to give y'all some inside tip, right? This is for the mechanics. I'm taking off my management badge and go mechanic side. If you become good enough at what you do as a technician, don't be afraid to play the dealerships against each other. Dealerships are willing to pay for top guys. And if you know that you're a top guy, you can name your price. I had 2 dealerships fighting for me back and forth. How much are they offering you now? $28? I'll give you 30. He offered me 30. Oh man, you driving? All right, I'll give you 32. Hey, baby, offered me 32, man. I can't come over there. Oh man, I'll give you 36. 36?
Yeah.
All right. You go send a tow truck for my toolbox? They see me packing up. What are you doing? Hey, I'm going over there. They offered me 36. Ah, man, let me go talk to management. I'll be right back. Don't be afraid to play the dealerships against each other. This is an inside tip. I probably will never get another job in the automotive industry for that.
Well, thank you very much for that tip. I'll definitely, hopefully they will watch this and understand exactly, the tricks in the trade of the industry itself. Most importantly, it's patience. It comes with a lot of patience. Steven,
I apologize, guys, for all of the lights flickering on and off.
They'll understand. No problem. This is YouTube. They will understand. Thank you very much. And
all right, brother, you're welcome.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk again.
Most definitely. Take care, Chris.